Okay, so tell me about this Indian heritage and culture. Like, let's talk about culture. Do you like India's culture?
Yeah, I like most because in India many type of cultures are found.
And why do you like it like the most? Because like must be some reasons behind it, no? You liking it the most. So tell me a few reasons. Why do you like it?
Yeah, as I think that there are some scientific reasons that we celebrate some festivals or tradition or culture. That's
Yeah,
why our ancestors means also used to celebrate or practice the customs, and now we are still practicing the same tradition and culture.
right,
Yeah, but
right.
sometimes I think that there are some traditions that we shouldn't means we shouldn't follow. We should adapt to our circumstances, to our life, what is going now.
Right,
Yeah,
right. You have very rightly said. Like, in short, we should, change with time. We should adjust ourselves with time.
yeah,
Because in earlier times, the situation was like that, or maybe our ancestors couldn't think in such a way that we think. So they
yeah,
used to consider women less. But now, like a lot of people's mindset is changing. They are broadening their thoughts. So they should also broaden their thought regarding women.
yeah,
Like, if the common, one of the common incidents which generally the women faces, that if a man is working in the night shifts, then he's considered as, wow, he's really hardworking, he's very motivated towards his job. And
yeah.
when the same job in the same time frame the woman is doing, then she's considered immoral. Their questions are raised on her character, that why is she working in the night. Do you also believe in this?
Yeah, I also believe in the things, and now I think it is happening. But I think it is improving day by day, and I think in some days it will be okay. The rules and
Yeah,
regulation, the tradition and cultures were made according to the situation,
yeah,
because that
right.
time the situation was not so good. The outside was not so safe for women. That's why the rules and regulations were made. But now I think it's safer than earlier. I won't say that it is means the it is totally safe now, but I think it is safer than earlier.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
and
right.
nowadays our India is trying to protect our some traditional cultures, because the day by day the traditions are being extinguished. That's why our theme of development is based on our culture too.
Right, right,
That's
right.
why, yeah, that's why a few months ago, Narendra Modi or the government announced that the means the mother tongue will be promoted in primary school, so that
Right, right.
everybody will know their mother tongue. Because I have
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
there are many children, they don't know even their mother tongue. They know Hindi,
Right,
English well, but they don't know their mother tongue. That's why
right.
it is, yeah, that's why the mother tongue is extinguishing day by day, right? Yeah,
Uh, I was coming to this point only, like people in India are aware of, Hindi and English also to some extent, but when it comes to the regional language, they are totally zero in that, and that is, very ashamed of us. That is really embarrassing, because people living in that area are not aware of their own cultures, of their own, traditions being followed in that area. So that is really embarrassing. And now I have seen that government is taking, sufficient steps which should be taken.
yeah. We shouldn't forget our culture
Yeah,
by
right,
doing our work.
right.
What happens, India is known as our culture, and if suppose there was no culture, then what would be? That's
Right.
why we should follow the cultural traditions, what have been going so far.
When you talk about some of the traditions, some of the cultural activities, or some of this thinking of our societies to change, So how can you bring that change in an area where people are still stuck at those old mindset, and how can you make people influence about some of the things getting changed over time? How can you make that effort in your society? Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I think the persons are following the same tradition because they are facing the lack of awareness. That's why. Because still now we can find some place where men are eaten. They are carnivorous. They may be tribal, but they are doing so. But I think it is not good for our society. So if we want to change some tradition, then first of all we will have to become educated.
Yeah, right.
In which area we want to change some tradition, then first of all we will have to get the means area educated. Otherwise it is not possible. We tell them suddenly that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't eat men, you shouldn't eat men, then
Right,
they will start fighting with you. So that's why
right.
we can't change any tradition or any rule in instant or in some days. It will take so much time to change. That's
Right,
why.
right.
Yeah.
Right, this is very good point that first we should educate the persons, and then we should talk about some issues which are covering them. Okay, right, all right. Now you have told me like how can you improve, how if you get a chance, how can you improve the people's mindset. Now tell me about some of the things, like if if there are so many people in India who are totally against every culture, like every aspect of the culture. They are not like us, like they don't look at the good and the bad sides, they only look at the bad sides. They're like, you know uh, let me simplify it for you. Like, some of the youth is so modern nowadays, they have, they think that India, if we follow our traditions, then we are down market.
Hmm.
You must have come
Okay.
across some of the citizens like that.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
And in foreign, there is perspective of Indians as down market people only, because
Hmm.
we are attached to our roots and we follow our traditions. We live with our parents, so
Hmm.
foreigners consider us as old people, old generation people only. So how
Hmm.
can you make someone aware about the enriching qualities of Indian culture? How can you tell them about the good aspect of Indian culture?
Yeah. Actually, nowadays our youth are distracting. They are not going on the path of tradition. But I know, as I believe, that there are some traditions, culture that they are really useful for us. For
Right,
example, the tribal follow some rule. They are really important. Means they worship the nature, they worship the trees. So they are really important because in this way they can protect some trees, some forest. So I think there are still some tradition that we should follow. What is happening nowadays? Sorry, we are youth are forgetting our culture. So in this way, what will happen after some years? We will forget everything, and our future generation will not be able to see any tradition. Everything will be erased. So that's why we should follow some tradition and culture.
right, right. You know what
Yeah.
happens basically on Holi and Diwali? Uh, like every Holi and Diwali, our parents, my parents, and my friends' parents used to tell them that nowadays Holi is not played the way it used to be. Nowadays people are so much bothered about their skin, about their beauty, that they don't even celebrate the authentic festivals. Like Holi and Diwali are the main festivals of India, and people are so bothered about external beauty, that they don't get into those vibes, those Indian vibes. They don't even some of the people I see in my area have like they strictly shut down their gates and don't even step out of their houses during Holi and Diwali, so that the other person don't come to their house. So it is really, embarrassing, and it is very shameful as an Indian, that people are so much getting towards the western side, and they are, neglecting their roots completely. Do you also feel the same?
Yeah, yeah, I also feel the same thing. Actually, we should pay attention somewhat to our health and according to the situation, but it doesn't mean that we will stop celebrating. So I think there is some reason behind the any tradition or any culture, right?
Right. See, in Western cultures, it is like people are more isolated. They are busy with themselves. But in India, festivals are, a good excuse to have social activity, occur social gatherings, and, meet your relatives, meet your old friends. Because
Hmm.
nowadays, from now onwards, only from last year onwards, due to
Hmm.
corona, people are, separated. People don't meet often, people don't talk often, because they get to hear about so many bad news due to corona, and they don't meet, they don't go to their houses. But this is one of the reason, and the mindset of the people, due to their due to them due to their they are busy with themselves, so they don't meet. So, all these things are, making up people to lose their social gatherings, to lose their social activities. So this is really bad for India for the future run, because our future generations won't be able to know, because their parents don't know. We don't know so much about the Indian culture, so how can we tell our, children about that? We knew it. We know it from our parents, because they have lived those culture, because they have witnessed everything around them, but we haven't.
Yeah, actually, I would like people to follow some rules, some traditions, so that our traditional culture will be remain so far.